Welcome back. It's time for a small break. We covered a full penetration test by now. Or you can say we covered how it would look like and how would we perform a penetration test. We went from gathering information about our target, from personal and technical information, to then later performing a scan to figure out the target's infrastructure and if we could find some openings or vulnerabilities to attack. After doing that, we gained access to the target by either exploiting through a vulnerability or delivering a payload that the target will execute. And at the end, we performed post-exploitation with the payload that we delivered. From stealing information with a keylogger to downloading files from their machine or maintaining access. We did all of that. And you can say we completed the penetration testing circle. We did all of this on both Windows and Linux targets. And the next step that you could take is to practice all of these things that we learned on various virtual machines that you can download online and that have different vulnerabilities. Machines that are similar to our Metasploitable. You can also subscribe to different online programs that host vulnerable machines that allow you to test them and advance your skills even more through testing those machines. However, more about all of this I will say at the end of the course. And even after covering all of this, we are still not done yet. We still have more things to cover. Remember when I told you that port 80 is something that we will be attacking later in the course? Well, why port 80? Remember, port 80 is used to host a website, and websites have a lot of different vulnerabilities that we haven't covered yet. So we're going to do that in a section of its own. The next thing that we will cover are going to be the basics of web application penetration testing. And if I didn't mention it already, let me say it again. This is a huge topic. You might have also heard about bug bounties, and that is mostly referred to web app penetration testing. Nonetheless, once we finish that, we're also going to take a look at gaining access to the wireless access points. This will also involve password cracking, which we also haven't encountered yet, and after that, we're going to take a look at something not so important but interesting, and that is called man-in-the-middle attack. We're going to see exactly how it works once we get to it, but for now you can just remember it as an attack that will allow us to steal information on a network from other devices connected. So we still have a lot to go. But before we do any of these, I have another surprise for you, and that is another coding project. That's right. It is time to create a tool that will have something to do with all these exploitation things that we covered in last few sections. And for this, I've picked to show you how to code our own payload. I believe this is what most people would want to see. So we're going to code it ourselves. It won't be anything too advanced, but you will get a good understanding of behind the scenes on how payloads and reverse shells work. And by the end of that project, you will have a working backdoor that you can send to the target and execute commands with the help of it on the target machine. Cool, right? Now that you know what the surprise is, we're ready to get straight into backdoor creation in the next video. See you there.